rhinos. And in return, we're going to employ you at the lodge. We're going to make sure that money goes back to the community. So there's an example of an environmental issue that is in reverse, which is really exciting. So there are creative, innovative ways, but it takes the grassroots.
I think that's very interesting, and I think there are actually quite a lot of examples across Africa today where, particularly sub-Saharan Africa, where companies and governments are trying to put in place more sustainable models. And I'm aware of, for example, beer producing companies who, recognizing the growth in the number of young people in Africa and the potential for sales to grow, rather than import from elsewhere or import any of the materials or whatever for skills from elsewhere, are involved in huge local training programs and also clean water programs, so that they've got the basis in people and materials that they need for their products. So I think this growth in young consumers and young activists in different parts of the world, I think is going to have its own momentum. So while I think we should be worried about the threats, in particular about the Arctic, as was mentioned, and about water, as Vicky mentioned, I think we should also be positive in promoting, I think, some good examples. Those countries in Africa that have banned plastic bags, for example, they could teach all of us a thing or two about Rwanda. I think Rwanda must be about the cleanest country in the world, and it's down to a ban on plastic bags for the last 5 years, where they're taken off you at the airport, and you just get so much less litter, and people therefore take more care of the environment because it's already cleaner than it was before, and so on. So, I think there are some good things happening in sub-Saharan Africa that the rest of us could learn a lot from. The only other thing I was going to say before closing and thanking everybody was just to go back to the previous discussion this morning that I was involved in. We kind of skirted over a suggestion at one point that I think the president of ECOSOC made about the need to move from taxes on employment and opportunity to taxes on the environment. And it does strike me that one of the things that we could do in Europe here would be to make it easier for companies and others to hire young people and get them out of unemployment by cutting the taxes on employing people and instead taxing the things that do damage rather than the things that do good. And I think maybe if more of us were demanding that from our leaders, we might make a little bit of progress. And so I think there are solutions here. This is not just all rhetoric. There are some really practical things that politicians could be doing, and I think all of us have got a role to try and challenge them to get off the warm words and get into some action, because this is getting more and more serious as the years go by. Can I thank very much Mark, Louis D'Amour, Pilar, Giovanni, Nicola and Shannon for their contributions, and to all of you too. Thank you.
And also a big thank you for Lord Jack McConnell, please.
Can I give one final quote? This is from astrophysicist Hubert Reeves from Quebec. He spoke at our summit in 2009, and he gave a incredible talk about the environment and the future and a lot of the grim things going on, and I love his quote. When I think about our future and the environment, I am not optimistic, I am not pessimistic, I'm determined. So I think that's the attitude we named it.
Excellent. All right, well, we'll take a group photo of the panelists before we leave. If we could stand up for a moment, and I'd ask everyone else to start making their way downstairs.